Be yourself. Just be yourself. Do it. Just
Be yourself.
Has anyone ever told you this? Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Just be yourself, bro. Just be yourself and she'll come to you. How many times have you heard this advice in dating and how far has it gotten you? My comments on my Instagram and my TikTok, of which I have 200,000 followers, is full of people saying this advice doesn't work, just be yourself. And I check his Instagram, I check his profile picture, and it's like this. Some ugly guy who has no idea. His Instagram is full of unattractive pictures. And when I say unattractive, I don't mean physically he's unattractive. I mean his energy, his aura. It's feminine, it's weak. And these are the exact guys who will get their heart broken again and again and again. And they'll justify it by saying, yeah, but she just wasn't the one for me. The right woman will come along and she'll love me for me. I do consultations every single day with guys from all the way from mid-20s to 74 years old is the oldest guy I've ever coached, okay? How would you feel if you were 74 years old and you waited your entire life? Now that is extreme, but this is what can happen because you sit and you wait and you try and just be yourself. Now the harsh reality is, whoever you are right now, your habits, your personality, your characteristics, it isn't enough and you aren't good enough. It takes a very self-aware man to accept that. You have to put your ego to the side because that's what it is. Your ego is holding you back. Just like if you want to make 10K a month, which a lot of guys do. Are you making 10K a month? No, you're not good enough. Do you have your dream 10 out of 10 girl by your side begging to be with you? No, you're not enough. It is as simple as that, because if you were enough, you would have these things. Now, don't worry, you can work on these things, and it comes down to skill acquisition. Pretty much everything in life can be boiled down to the skills you possess, the mindset you possess, the characteristics, how you're perceived, how you move, talk, walk, dress, everything, okay? And these are things you can work on. Look at the most successful guys in their industry or their field. They all have things in common with their mindset, their work ethic, etc. You can copy these things. So let's go through how you can actually achieve this. First of all, you need to understand that just be yourself is just really lazy advice, okay? It's cool. Just being yourself allows you to sit on your ass and do nothing and think, you know, I'm doing the right thing. But yourself right now is probably too agreeable, too nice, too available, too scared to take risks, like approaching, and too bothered about what she thinks of him, okay? So again, ask yourself, is that conducive with a woman who's gonna love and admire me and respect? Obviously not. Otherwise you wouldn't be here, let's be honest. Now, there is a 4-stage process which you can follow, which will take you to where you need to be. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to completely change your personality. What you need to do is establish which things are positive about yourself and which things are holding you back. Because I promise you, if you fix your dating life, you will actually start making more money as well. I've had so many guys get promotions because of the work that they do, okay? So let's get into the 4 steps. The first thing is your mindset. The mindset is the foundation, and your mindset is your set of beliefs, okay? So for example, guys on consultations, they say things to me like, oh, you know, I don't approach girls because they find it weird. And then I say, how do you know they find it weird? I just think they find it weird. But have you tried to approach? No. So how do you know they find it weird? Oh, I just assume that. Okay. That's a bad mindset. That is a bad belief system. A guy thinks he can't approach. Thinks he doesn't know this. He hasn't tried this. Okay. It's just like cold calling. Once upon a time, there was one person who was the first guy ever to knock on a front door and say, hi, do you want to buy this? People before him would have said, it's not possible. But this guy broke that belief and did it and then made money from it, etc. Okay. Just like when I started coaching, I was unsure if I can make a living from this full time. Yet 5 years later, here we are. And I've been doing this for a long time. So that is the first thing. You need to build a concrete, rock solid mindset. Now, I have some free training for your mind in my description below, which you can start doing right now, right this second. That will give you the right mindset you need to succeed, because I know you watch certain motivational content. Maybe you watch like Andrew Tate or Tony Robbins, or insert some motivational guy, maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Since we mentioned him before. And they think a certain way. They have a certain belief around things, a certain outlook on life, and you admire them for this. You can adopt this and it will give you better results. That is the first thing. Because in life, you have your beliefs. You have your beliefs which dictate your actions, good or bad, which gives you the results in your life, good or bad, which then gives you feedback. And this is either going to be a positive, never-ending loop, or a negative, self-fulfilling prophecy. I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, which is exactly where you are right now, and you can't change this. The second thing you need to do is you need to develop a solid belief, is you need to develop a very solid understanding of female nature, okay? Because it's not the same as you. That's another lie you've been fed. A woman and a man do not think the same. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but they don't. I'm telling you, they 100% do not. And you need to understand basic psychology about what she wants, what she expects. For example, if I were to ask you, does she crave stability or instability? You would probably say stability, because if you ask a woman, she'll say, I want to be stable and safe. I want him to be, very reassuring. But yet when you do this, it does not work. And she cheats on that man. Yet if you were the unstable, up and down, slightly toxic guy that was very selfish, she chases you, prioritizes you, okay? There's ways in which you can understand her nature and use it to your advantage to have the outcome that you want. want. No, it's not manipulation. It is simply understanding female nature because she's manipulating you. I promise you, okay? There's things that she does where even when she just cries, for example, okay? Women are very good at turning on their tears and you go, oh, I'm sorry. Manipulation, okay? Understand this. Point number 3 is you need to understand how to actually get dates and meet women. And there's 2 primary methods. There is online, Instagram, dating apps, and there is in person. Online is very straightforward. Get 6 really good pictures. Go and look at the free training to understand which pictures, or look at my other YouTube videos. Okay, once you have those, you understand the texting side of things. Again, texting framework in my description below. I have everything, literally point A to point B for dating. Once you box this off, you're gonna start getting dates, okay? Now, to understand how do you run a date and what do you do in a date, that's gonna require some separate training. I don't necessarily advise on that for free, okay? If you wanna learn how to act on a date, what do you talk about, what do you say, that's something you can speak to me personally about. Otherwise, I'll be just doing this for nothing. And the other side of things is the approaching, okay? So this is like, what do you say? How do you have the balls to approach? How do you get over your fear of anxiety? What do you talk about? How do you close? How do you escalate to get the number? Again, there is a framework, there is a system and a process you can follow, which will get you the desired outcome. It's a bit like when I do my consultations. I have a rough idea of the questions I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask him, what's his challenge? How many approaches does he do? How many matches does he get? Okay, how many dates has he had? If I haven't just said that. How much sex is he having? What's the impact? Why now? What have you done to fix this? What happens if you don't fix this? I ask him these questions, I will have all the information that I need, okay? And once you've done the mindset, you understand women roughly, okay? You're generating dates. The final thing is, how do you keep her interested, okay? And you're probably starting to understand there is a science behind this and how you keep her interested. This is the most complicated part, okay? 100%. I can make hundreds of videos on this topic alone, so I'm not gonna go super in depth, but I will say this: she can never be more important than you. You always have to prioritize yourself over her. You have to, okay? If you can do this and not go into her frame and not bend over backwards and pedestalize her and give in too much and not be Mr. Nice Guy, you have a shot at keeping her interested. But if you want some free training on that, I'm going to keep plugging my free call below. Go and book a free call because that is the biggest challenge with guys. They can get some dates, some success, but they ain't keeping her long term. That is the real challenge. That is why I do what I do. If you want to speak to me personally, you can go to the link in my description. Until next video, guys, I will see you all later.